Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our regular council meeting of March 14, 2023. Call the meeting to order. Can we get the approval of the agenda for March 14, 2023 regular council meeting? Moved by Councillor Snow, seconded by Councillor Noel. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. And can we get the adoptions of the minutes of the regular council meeting of February 28, 2023? Moved by Councillor O'Grady, seconded by Councillor Seymour. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. Any business arising from the minutes? And while you're looking at that there, our internet may be sporadic, so those who are viewing online, if you get cut out, just keep watching. We may get kicked back in there. We're having trouble with the internet in the town hall here.
If not, we'll post the meeting.
And the meeting will be posted after the fact. It is being recorded. Okay, no business arising. Move on to number 6, permits and correspondence. Councillor Dial, 6.1.
If everybody could take a look at slide number 3 in their Dropbox, there are 3 permits there today, but it's all good news. Make a motion to approve permit listing 10154 to 10156.
And can we get a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor?
Before we vote, I just wanted to mention that that will bring our new housing development this year to 8, and I think that is more than we had last year, correct? We were at 7 last year, so already mid-March we're at 8 developments at a estimated development of $1.643 million, and one of those permits is also the demolition permit for those burnt out buildings on Water Street, so that's some positive movement for that to be addressed.
All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. 6.2, correspondence requiring council's decision.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, motion there that needs to come forward.
Just 1 second now.
Actually, I want to bring your attention to this, that is for the Adelaide Street Water and Sewer Storm Upgrade Phase 2. So previously, when we have discussed that, we had some councillors who declared conflicts. So I just want to make you aware of that. So at the time when we last discussed it, we had Councillor Seymour declare conflict of interest on the Adelaide Street Phase 2 project, as his mother-in-law owns property in the area. Councillor Snow declared conflict of interest on the Adelaide Street Phase 2 project as his sister-in-law owns property in close proximity to the area. And Councillor O'Grady declared conflict of interest on the Adelaide Street Phase 2 project as his brother owns property in the area. Yeah. So at the time we spoke before, all 3 declared conflict and left the meeting, so that would pertain to the pending motion considered here as well.
Okay, so those councillors will leave and for the reasons cited by the town clerk.
Yes, sister.
Sister, yeah.
Sorry.
Sister, brother, and in-law. Okay. Deputy Mayor Slate, get your microphone on.
Okay. It says here, I got conflicting numbers here on the motion. One is 17-G1-23-0002. And the one I got here got, no, okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, whereas the town of Carbonear issued a request for proposals for prime consultant services for Adelaide Street water, sewer, storm upgrades, Phase 2, project number 17-G1 23-00002 in accordance with the public procurement policy, and whereas Meridian Engineering, Inc. is the preferred proponent, be it resolved to award a contract to Meridian Engineering, Inc. in the amount of $127,269.79, HST included, for the prime consultant service for the project. And I so do move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Noel. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. No one else in conflict, is there? Oh, you got some chatting. Okay, 6.3. No. Okay, we move on to number 7, committee reports. Public Works, Waste Management, and Community Services.
Okay.
Deputy Mayor Slade.
Mayor, you can, Carrie forgot her bill today. Mr. Mayor, council can peruse through the minutes of the Public Works Committee meeting. Anything that they sees, they can ask questions on. And I have 2 motions that need to come forward. And one being resolved that the town of Carbonear call for tenders for the construction of Valley Road, water, sewer, and street upgrading, project number 17, dash G1, dash 22, dash 00013, subject to the receipt of approval from the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Is there someone in conflict of that?
Before we go on with that, I understood that was coming up under new business, so that's why I didn't speak up. I wasn't expecting it there. But when we last spoke about Valley Road Phase 4, Mayor Butt declared conflict of interest on this project as his brother owns property in the area. And Councillor Noel also declares conflict of interest as his brother and sister owns property in the area. So I don't know if you want to deal with it here now or
Leave it to Leanne.
leave it down in the business, new business.
We get the motion made, there's no for us to leave.
Well, we only got a move by Deputy Mayor. We can finish it off, I guess.
You can't even, you can't.
You can't.
You can't even.
No, I'm just saying, I'm going to leave. I'll just pass the gavel over to Deputy Mayor.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Resolved.
Could I ask a question before we go any further with this? In the new legislation, does it state that when we, as long as we move from our council seat and sit, we don't have to leave the chambers?
That's an option.
As an option, isn't it? Oh, okay.
If it's pertaining to, if there's a public gallery at the time.
Okay, thank you.
And now, council can choose to leave too, can do that as well.
Okay, Councillor Dell.
Resolved that the town of Carbonear call for tenders for the construction of Valley Road, water, sewer, and street upgrading project number 17 GI 22-00013, subject to the receipt of the approval from the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure.
The motion's been made by Councillor Doyle, second by Councillor Snow. Question? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion is carried. Okay, Mr. Mayor, the next motion is resolved that the town of Carbonear install a new street light situated at 6 Hiscox Lane in accordance with the street lighting policy, and I so do move.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, something else that is into the minutes of Public Works, and it was is a request that has been received to rename D'Iberville Street.
I live on D'Iberville
Yes,
Street,
okay.
so I'm gonna escape
Yeah, I
here.
also, my son lives on D'Iberville, so I'll have to declare conflict.
So Councillor Doyle and Councillor O'Grady declared a conflict on that. Go ahead, dear Deputy Mayor Slade. Because they live on that, and have relatives living on that.
Anyway, Mr. Mayor, the request has been received to rename D'Iberville Street. This street was named by council over 10 years ago from a list of possible streets names provided by the Carbonear Heritage Society. The request was not received from a resident of the street, and a change to the street name will result in an inconvenience to the residents on the street. The residents will be required to make changes to their address information on various documents such as driver's license, vehicle registrations, insurance, etc. The committee does not recommend making this change without the support of the residents on the street due to the inconvenience this will cause. If this is to be considered, the committee recommends informing residents of the request that they will be responsible for making required changes to the address registration with their documents and their costs to obtain feedback on whether they are in favor of such a change. Now, Mr. Mayor, I got to say this. Over our history, and some people may think, well, he was a pirate or he was a plunder or whatever the case may be. Years ago, when we went back and asked the Heritage Society for names and one thing and another, no matter if they were a pirate or a plunder or whatever the case may be, it's still a part of our history. And it needs to be recognized as so. The committee looked at it in that light. And, we don't feel strong that, that it should be renamed. So I just wanted to put that in there. But our history dictates, whether they were pirates or whatever the case may be, it is what it is. And it is a part of our history. And there's nothing we can do to change history. Thank you.
Sometimes if you remove it from history, people forget about it, and they don't understand where
But
something came from.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, and these were the names that was put forward by our Heritage Society, and I mean, they had quite a number of names, and that's what was chosen for that street over there. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
Just want to point out that, if there is to be any change, obviously it would have to be a motion of council to change it. And I guess the committee is not recommending it, but again, just wanted to make sure council were, I guess we're in favor of their suggestion at this point.
So can we send off correspondence to this resident just to have his issue addressed? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and that's the end of my report.
Okay. Any questions for Deputy Mayor Slade? Thank you. Move on to number 7B, Recreation, Special Events, Culture, and Tourism. Councillor Seymour.
Again, we've had a great meeting at the regular council meeting for the boys, our councillors, Sam and Ray and myself. We went through a lot of different things. We're waiting for some recreation reports to come in from our recreation director for some assets to be did throughout the summer. Right now, there's nothing to report, other than, well, I got a couple little things there, and I got a motion to draft up if we wanted to And after that, once I receive the, do the motion, if anybody wants to ask any questions on anything, you can go ahead and do so. The motion I have, it says, to approve the following appointments to the Carbonear Special Events Committee, conditional upon receipt of satisfactory certificate of conduct, vulnerability sector check, and the names are Cindy Pike, Melissa Bourne-Butt, Patty O'Keefe, and Jason Penny. Am I correct in all?
Okay, and can we get it seconded by Councillor Snow? Yes, Snow it is. Discussion. All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed. Is that your report, sir?
That's my report as of now, sir. Thank you.
Okay, any questions for Councillor Seymour?
Yeah, there is a mistake in that name, sorry. It's Cindy Earl.
Pardon?
It should be Cindy Earl, the name, and not Pike.
Okay.
Yep,
Sorry.
it should be Cindy Earl.
Sorry for the mistaken name. This is reading here. All right, it's Cindy Earl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So it's instead of Cindy Pike. Sorry for the inconvenience and sorry for the, I'll correct myself, Cindy Earl.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, sir.
And that's it.
Deputy Mayor.
Mr. Town Administrator, am I correct, the pool's closed? Due to some kind of a circulating pump or something?
There's a pump issue. I don't have all the details, but I do, yes, they are having an issue with on the pumps, and they do have a company that's working on it now to try to repair it as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
They will need, they have to order one, but they're trying to, I guess, make repairs to get things up and running as soon as possible in the meantime.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Town Administrator.
Mayor Butcher?
Go ahead, Councillor.
Mr. Slade, Councillor Slade, I would have put it out there in the meeting, in my minutes, but it was something that was new arise on our behalf, and I had no recollection of what's going on with it. So hopefully in our next recreation committee meeting, we can be able to do stuff and apologize to the people out there and then bring it forward, sir.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Seymour.
Okay, move on to 7C, development. Councillor Dawn.
If everybody could take a look at slide number 6 in their Dropbox. We, under business arising, we still have some ongoing issues with conditions of a permit that is going through the process. We reviewed the previously provided, I guess, pamphlet would probably be just it's an informative thing on the town of Carbonear for the municipal plan review, and the only recommendations that we had were to put in some updated pictures. That they had used some older pictures, so we've told them to please proceed with that with the updated pictures. We have a number of development applications. We didn't have anything under correspondence. We didn't have an MEO report. We had our EDTO report. We had, we had a International Women's Day walk in conjunction with the town of Harbor Grace on Sunday, so it was nice to see some collaboration between the two towns. Under new business, we have some, I guess, inquiries and applications. When people make inquiries for the town can't really discuss possibilities for properties until they get an application in, because when they get the application in, then they can go through the process of going through the rules and policies and procedures. So with one of them, we are going to provide a letter of support for their development, because they were applying for some funding through CMHC, and then there was a deadline approaching, so that's why you'll see the information there on that. And that was it for us. I do have a number of motions. Resolution number 1, resolve to approve the following applications in accordance with applications submitted, the Town of Carbonear Municipal Plan and Development Regulations and other conditions as specified. To install signage on the exterior of the building at 19 High Road South per the Town of Carbonear signage regulations. To complete exterior renovations at 223 Water Street, conditional upon requirements of the Heritage Zone. To complete renovations to operate a discount retail store at 6 Goff Avenue, conditional upon receipt of approval from the Department of Digital Government and Service NL and other applicable government departments and agencies.
And can we get a seconder for that? Second by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
Resolution number 2, resolve to approve the partial release of service levy on a portion of property subdivided between 75 and 85 Columbus Drive, and be it further resolved that the mayor and CAO sign the partial release of service levy on behalf of council.
And can we get a seconder for that? Second by Deputy Mayor Slade. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
And resolution number 3, resolve to provide a letter of support to Charwood Legion Manors Incorporated for a funding application to obtain funding to provide additional cottage units to the existing complex.
And can we get a seconder for that? Second by Councillor Noel. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded, motion passed. Any questions for Councillor Doyle? Thank you. Okay, we move on to 7D, Finance and Administration. Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The minutes are in the number 7 in your Dropbox. Not a lot to discuss. We're working on a number of ongoing policies and procedures. We will be changing the rules of procedure for, I guess, appointing of committees and external committees and committees of council, as we discussed it earlier. So we will be getting those policies together and circulate to council, and I'll have a chat about them at that time. Not a lot of other things I can discuss. There's a bunch of questions on tax requests and things, so you can look through the minutes. And if anybody got any questions, I can answer.
Any questions for Councillor O'Grady? Thank you. Moving along pretty good here, guys. No report from any CAO or department heads. Move on to number 9, operating invoices over $2,000. Councillor O'Grady.
Okay, resolve to approve operating invoices over $2,000 in the amount of $288,483.87.
And can we get a seconder for that? Second by Deputy Mayor Slade. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
So the next is a capital invoice for Valley Road. Not sure anybody's got to step out for that one. I'm not sure which phase that
area
is.
that under? Okay. Deputy Mayor, Mike Galvin.
Thank you. Resolve to approve the Valley Road Water and Sewer Street upgrades 17-GI-00013. WSP E&I Canada Limited, engineering invoice number G064277 in the amount of $18,149.07.
Motion has been made by Councillor O'Grady, second by Councillor Seymour. Question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried.
Cool. That's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, move on to number 12. I think we got that done. New business, is that the motion that you made already? Okay. All right, our next meeting now is March 28 this year. And I want to give a shout out to Danielle George of Daniel's Pantry. She was awarded the CBDC Trinity Exception New Business of the Year Distinction Award. Danielle is a former resident of Carbonear, and hopefully she'll expand and maybe move back to set up a business here in Carbonear. Yep. And we also had the Irish dinner today. I got to recognize the EDTO. Great food here. All kinds of desserts, loads of desserts. It was unreal. And there's a lot of stuff on the go for between now and next Sunday, so it's too much to mention, but you can go onto our website there or into our social media site, and there are little calendars there which has all this posted. Councillor Seymour?
I'd like to say something. I've seen some great advertisement out there and everything, and I suppose I shouldn't probably call it advertisement, but anyway, during International Women's Day and Week, I've seen a lot of nice stuff in that out there, and I got to say, I thank this town for highlighting some of the really great person and women in this town, and the office staff and Kerry for a wonderful job that they did. They highlighted a great expectation of a lot of nice ladies in this town, and I thank you for it.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Noel. Meeting adjourned.